Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to create the Kanoko bracelet, and this is the design by Forrest Hook. I will have his YouTube and Instagram linked down below so you can check out his other awesome designs. You can see that there's a lot of different color combinations that are possible with this one. I love his style where he did the color gradient in the middle, but for the sake of filming I will be doing a style like this, where the middle and the border is all one color. It just is a little easier for filming. So you will need about 216 bands, and that of course depends on your wrist size. The breakdown is 46 of the center color. You will need 24 of the navy blue, 49 of the olive green, 46 of the clear, and 51 of the border. So for this bracelet, we do make the main part of the bracelet on our hook at once, and then at the end we will add the border on. So it will be up to you if you want to add that border on or not. But make sure you do grab 2 C-clips just for the sake of holding things in place for closing it up. Other than that, grab your hook and we can go ahead and get started. To get started, you will want to have a double-ended hook ready. And then you're going to want to first choose whatever color you're using for the cap band, which is going to be the same color as my olive green up here. So for that, I am going to be using this pastel yellow. And now also decide what you want to use where my navy blue is, and put that in line behind your pastel yellow. And then I would also go ahead and figure out what color you want to use for the center, and grab 2 of those just so you have it ready to go. And then I will tell you the remaining bands once we get there. So we were going to start with our first color, which is our cap band, and that's going to be my pastel yellow. And we're simply just going to put this on like a, I was going to say like a figure 8, which it kind of is, but twist it on and make your cap band. Grab your next color, which for me is going to be my black. We're going to pull this through the entire cap band, but we're going to reclaim the left side of the cap band and get it back on our hook, and then close that black off. Make sure you do keep that order though. And now we are going to go ahead and grab one of your purples or whatever color you're using for the center. So we're going to be pulling this through the first 2, and then you're going to skip the first band and reclaim the outer band, which is the black, and then close off the purple. We're going to turn it around so we can do the same thing on the other side. Now before we do this side, we do have to reclaim the other side of the cap band. So slide it down to the end and carefully remove your outer band so that you can scoop up the other side of that cap band and now replace that back on. So now we are ready to add the purple onto this side. So we are going to pull this through the first 2. We're going to skip the first and pick up the second and close it off. So this is what it's going to be looking like once we have started it. And now we are going to go back to the very first color we grabbed, which is going to be the cap band color. And that is my pastel yellow. And we are going to pull this through the first 2. We're going to skip the first and pick up the outer band, which will be my purple, and close it off. Now we have to grab one more new color, and that is going to be the clear on this bracelet here. I'm going to use this sparkly yellow. We're going to pull this through the first 2, and then we're simply just going to close the other end. So these 2 bands, there's nothing keeping them in the fishtail order. So they may and probably will come undone as we're making the bracelet. You do not have to be concerned with that right now. I will tell you later on what to do when we add the border. So for now, we're going to slide it down so we can add some bands onto this side. And we are going to start by adding on the first pale yellow color. So we're going to pull this through the first 2. We're going to skip that first black, pick up the outer purple, and close it off. We're going to add our last band on for this side, and that's going to be my sparkle yellow. We're going to pull it through the first 2 and simply close off the other end without reclaiming anything. And this is what it should look like. So we are basically at like the start of our next section, and that is where we add on that center black color. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that now. We're going to be pulling this through the first 6 bands. We're going to pick up the first, skip the second and third, and pick up the 4th, 5th, and 6th, which are the outside 3, and close off the black you're pulling through. We need the black to sit somewhat in the center, so we're going to rearrange these 2 bright yellows, oh, excuse me, and pop them on the outside, and it should sit like that. So the black band, or whatever center band you just pulled through, should be the 3rd band in. Make sure that those pale yellows sit in the middle. We need them to stay in that order. So now we are back to adding our center purples. And like I said, make sure they stay in that order. If the right one pops out, we will fix it when we add the bands onto that side. But for right now, just make sure all of your left bands are in the correct order. And we're going to pull this purple through the first 4. We will skip the first and pick up the second, which is my black band. And then close that purple off, like so. So we're going to slide it down and do the same thing on the right side. So my bands got out of order when I slid it down. The 3rd band in right here should be whatever color your very center color is, which is my black. So I need to take the 3rd band that's there right now and cross it over the 4th one like that. So now my black one is the 3rd band, and that is correct. I'm just going to try to pull it up a little bit so it doesn't keep crossing over. And now we can go ahead and add our purple band on for this side. So we're going to pull this through the first 4. And then we're going to skip the first and pick up the second, which will be the black one right there, and close it off. We're going to go to our second color, which is going to be my pale yellow. We're going to pull this through the first 2. Skip the first and pick up the second, which is the outside band, and close it off. We will grab our very outer color, which is my sparkle yellow, and pull it through the first 2 and close it off without reclaiming anything. We'll slide it down and do the same thing on this side. So we'll start with our pale yellow, excuse me. That will go through the first 2. We will skip the first and reclaim the second and close it off. I will pull through my last band, which will go through the first 2 and close it off. So it looks like this. And now we are ready to pull our center black one through, which is basically like the start of our next section. So we're going to pull this through the first 6. We're going to pick up the first, skip the second and third, and pick up the 4th, 5th, and 6th, and close off the black. We have to rearrange the order. It already wants to kind of pop out over here, but make sure both of those yellows sit on the outside like that. The black band should be the 3rd band in on each side. And we are ready to start adding our center bands, which are my purple. So we're going to repeat this entire process. So we are going to pull this through the first 4. This band is weird, so I'm going to get rid of that. So we're going to pull this through the first 4. We're going to pick up the second band and close off the purple. I'm going to slide it down and do the same thing to the other side. My bands keep coming out of order, so I need to cross the 3rd one over my black one because my black one needs to be the 3rd band. And I think it's only happening because of the bands I'm using are really tiny, because it hasn't happened with the other bracelets that I made, just to let you know. So we're going to pull the purple through on this side now. So make sure your order is correct, and then go ahead and pull it through the first 4. We're going to skip the first, pick up the second, and close off the purple. We're going to pull through our next color, which will be my yellow. We will pull it through the first two. We're going to pick up the outside band and close it off. I'm going to pull through my bright yellow now. And we will pull that through the first two and close it off without reclaiming anything. We're going to slide it down. We're going to repeat that on this side, starting with my pale yellow. We're going to pull it through the first two. We're going to skip the first and pick up the outside purple and close it off. And then pull through my bright yellow, pulling that through the first two and just closing it off. So we are ready to start adding our center band again to start the next section. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my black band. We're going to pull this through the first six. We are going to pick up the first, fourth, fifth, and sixth and close off the black band. We want to rearrange these bright two yellows to the outside so the center band sits as number 3 on each side. I'm going to go ahead and grab my purples, and we will pull this through the first 4. Skip the first and pick up the second and close it off. We'll slide it down and repeat on the other side. Mine stayed in order this time, so make sure your third band is whatever color you use for the center like I did. And we are going to grab our next purple. We're going to pull it through the first 4. Skip the first and pick up the second and close it off. Grab my pastel yellow. We will pull this through the first 2. We will skip the first, pick up the second, and close it off. Add on my outer yellow, which will go through the first 2 again, and close it off. We will do the same thing on the other side. So we will bring our pastel yellow through first, going through the first 2, skip the first, pick up the outside purple, and close it off. And lastly, my last yellow for the outer band will go through the first 2 and close it off, like so. So at this point, we do need to add our black band on again, so I am going to go ahead and do that. We're going to pull it through the first 6. We are going to pick up the first, 4th, 5th, and 6th. And close off the black. We need to rearrange that. So we're going to rearrange the 2 bright yellows so that it's sitting like that. So you guys are going to keep following the instructions. You can go back to this timestamp if you need to keep rewatching them. Make your bracelet long enough to fit your wrist, and then make it even 1.25 inches longer than what you would normally make it, because it shrinks when we add the border. So keep making that. Once you have it long enough and you're back at this exact position, we are going to temporarily close it off for when we do the border. So to close it off, we are going to grab whatever color you used where my pale yellow is here. And we are going to bring this band. We would normally be bringing the purple through right now, but like I said, we need it to be this color. We're going to pull it through the first 4. We're going to skip the first and pick up the second and close off that pale yellow. We are going to bring one more band through these 3, and this is just to hold it for now. So I am going to actually grab the purple band so that I know it's not a part of the bracelet. And we're going to bring it through the first 3 and just close it off. We're going to be C-clipping that in a minute. So slide it down to the other side. Grab another pale yellow. Make sure that your band stayed in the correct order. We're going to bring a pale yellow through this side. We're going to bring it through the first 4. Skip the first, pick up the second, and close it off. We're going to bring another purple through, or whatever color you want. I'm just using purple so that I know it's not a part of the bracelet. We'll bring that through the first 3 and close it off. So we are going to be putting a C-clip on both of these, just temporarily. And do the same thing to the other one. So we are ready to add the borders on, and I know I only have this little teeny tiny piece. Yours is going to be much longer, of course. But we're going to choose our border color. So I wanted to use the same color that I have in the center, but I'm getting low on those purples. So I'm just going to use this darker purple. But you can certainly use the exact band that you use there if you would like. And all we are going to do is, you can go on either side. We're going to be grabbing the pale yellow band on the side here. But we have to make sure that we're going underneath the purple. So on the right here, you're going to be going in between the yellow band right here. So whatever band you have right here, you're going to split it, go in the middle of it, and then you're going to grab whatever color band you have right here, which for me is my pale yellow. And you can see that my purple is sitting on top of that pale yellow, which is how it should be. And I'm going to grab a border band. We're just going to pull it through and reattach the other end. We're just adding a basic single chain. We'll come up to the next one. You're going to go in the center of that outside yellow. You can see that my pale yellow is right here. It was already still fishtailed. So I'm just going to grab it and pull it out. I'm going to grab my next border color. You're going to pull it through all 3 bands on your hook and close off the other end. Come up to the next one, and this one is not in the correct order. The yellow has to be going through the purple. So what we do this time is go in between both yellow. I'm going to split it with my hook, if it will go in. I'm going to pick up both of those bands, and then I'm simply going to pull the yellow through the purple. Now it is in the correct order, and now we can add on our border. We're just going to pull it through all 3 and close it off. Do the same thing to the next one. I have to get it in the correct order. So I'm going to pull the first one through the second so that it is going under the purple. And we will add our border going through all 3 and closing it off. So that is actually the last one that we will pull it through. You're going to have a whole big bracelet to make, so you will continue pulling that through and doing a single chain all the way up. Pause the video until you have reached the top. When you do get to the top, you're going to have 3 bands attached to your very top C-clipped band. You're going to want to put those 3 bands on your hook, like so. Remove the C-clip and the top purple band, like so. And you're going to grab another border band, and you're going to pull it through all of the bands on your hook. There is 5 of them, like so. And we're going to temporarily C-clip this for now until we do the other side, like that. So I know it looks a little weird since it's a little teeny tiny piece, but that is what the right side looks like. Once you guys are all cut out with your right side, have that C-clipped off. If you're like this and you already did your right side, you're just going to turn the bracelet over, and we'll do the same thing to the other side of the bracelet. One thing that you can do to make it easier is you can go through and make sure all of the bands are in the correct position now, so it makes it quicker when you go to do the bracelet or the border. So you can just go through now, make sure that the yellow is already going under the purple, and just pull it out a little, like this. And you can do that on each one so that when you come through with the border band, it's already ready to go. Okay, so we will continue on. So wherever that first pastel yellow is on the right, that is the first one that we will add for this side, and we will simply bring the very first border band through and close it off. We'll come up to the next pale yellow, pick that up from inside my neon yellow, and bring our next one through. All 3 bands, just like on the other side. And you would also do this all the way up your bracelet. And this was the last one that I have to do. You guys have a lot more to do. So once you see, do not get confused thinking you have to grab that one. Whatever bands are connected to this C-clip band, we do not grab any of those. So I am done. We are going to pick up that purple band and get our hook through the 3 bands that are going through that. So these 3 right here go on my hook, and we're going to unclip this and remove it. Like so. Grab another border band and pull that through all 5 bands on your hook. We are now going to grab the other side and put that on our hook. So the bands that were C-clipped on the other side, get back on your hook like so. Remove that C-clip. And we will add 1 last border band through to completely close it off. So pull this through all 4. Like so. And that's where you will attach your final C-clip. So that is it, you guys. That is how you create the awesome Kanoko bracelet created by Forrest Hook. Don't forget you can check him out on YouTube and on Instagram. Don't forget to tag both of us if you make this. I hope that was enough instructions for you guys to make this super cool bracelet. I thank you for watching, and I will see you all very soon at my next tutorial. Thanks, guys. Bye.